Welcome to another Play Then Say video. In this video I want to look at the Fallout 4 that's coming out, and by doing this I want to look at what Fallout New Vegas did, talk about that and how I hope they improve it and what they do to make it better. I wanted to start off with a look at levelling. So levelling in Fallout consisted around a few main areas. So you had the basic XP system, which when you leveled up at certain points would give you access to points that you could put across things like speech, locksmithing, guns and so on. The reason I really liked this was the personalisation of the character. It meant I could have a few playthroughs. It meant I couldn't be best at everything and not everything was down to skill. So the first few playthroughs I would generally go for high guns and attack levelling. This meant that I could enjoy the game, sort of learn the bad areas and the good areas very well. And on a second playthrough I'd put a lot into the speech parts of the game, which would unlock extra dialogue for me to see and for me to enjoy the world a lot more. So this system of levelling, where you generally couldn't be great at everything, really did work well for me, and I really do hope that they encourage that with the new Fallout 4 and don't pander and make it to the masses where you can be an all-round great character at everything and just do everything with one playthrough, because for me Fallout isn't about that. What was interesting about Fallout for me was the second level also of the levelling tree, where you would unlock what they called perks. So these perks would really make your character a specialist in certain areas. And again, there was the ones I liked for my first playthrough that would make me very good at the attack and defense part of the game and the fighting. And then there was the other part of the game, which was the speech parts and the contextual parts. But there was a third level to this as well, which was based around really silly things. Like things you wouldn't want to generally make your character if it was basing it upon you. So things like where he would be a woman beater. And this would change the dialogue trees again and just make you a little less kind to the females of the Fallout world. Again, I hope they take this diversity in Fallout 4 and expand upon that, because again, it was something that they did very, very, very well. But I hear you shout, what about if I want to do something and get into a door that I need to progress through, or I really want to, but I've not put anything into lockpicking? Well, don't despair, my friend. You have books and magazines. Books, you will find rare ones of them, and this will give you a long-term peak. So a book of science would give you +5, +10, +8, whatever it is in science, and would be a permanent buff. These were quite hard to find, but there was a consumable called magazines. And what magazines did was they gave you a temporary boost in the area that you needed. So by stocking up on a few magazines in areas you were weaker at, it did mean that when you got to those crucial points and your curiosity was really blowing your mind out of the back of your head, you could take one of these magazines, pow, and you'd all be sorted. In summary, I loved the levelling system in Fallout New Vegas. I loved the diversity that it gave, and my biggest worry is that they are going to think that they're pandering to a bigger audience by making it less widespread and by making it more compact, and I really hope that they don't do this. But we'll take a look at some of the preview videos for Fallout 4 and we'll see what we can tell by the levelling systems from those. First of all, I was thrown into a pile of shock when I first saw this. When we see the Pip-Boy, we see no skills. God damn it, Bethesda. Don't make Fallout simpler. It doesn't need to be simpler, it's great. We see everything sort of circling around the special features, but if you do look at the details of the special features, they do seem to include more in them. But again, we can shed some light on this if we jump forward to when they showed us the customization. And if you look in the bottom right of the screen, you'll see that it mentions a perk called Gun Hunt, which was originally a skill. So, I'm going to guess, and this is a guess, that they've done the special system, and instead of having skills, you're going to branch off from the special system. How do I feel about this? On the plus side, I guess you're going to have more characters that are going to make more sense, because if you're going into science heavily there, you can't also go into something that's very anti-science. You can't make that really weird character layouts. But I'm going to miss that. If that is the case, and this is it, and I am going to be more constrained to a more sensible build, even though I generally did sensible builds, I think I am going to miss the opportunity just to have a bit of a stupid laugh and create the most ridiculous character with the ridiculous skills and perks that there have been. But again, this is preview video, so maybe they've not put the skill trees into the Pip-Boy yet, and maybe they're just calling them all perks for the time being, because Gun Hunt isn't actually listed in the specials, and we can't see if it is treeing off. So I'm going to put my fingers together, and I'm going to make a big plea to Bethesda of give us some good customization. But anyway, enjoy the world. Oi! Subscribe, you fucking nutter!